Hello, everybody. Welcome. Get out of that. Okay, I think we're good here. Yeah, a little bit of a late start. Actually, well, I mean, well, not for Sundays. Sundays, it's always after Game of Thrones. This was a long episode of Game of Thrones, and then we had some. It's always kind of. It's always kind of random when we have, you know, the daughter and when she gets fed, when she goes to sleep, and all that kind of stuff. So Sundays are a little chaotic, but I do try to show up for a few hours at least. Now, I do have my first day of classes tomorrow. So, I'm not going to be able to stay up as late as I typically do. But we'll try to see if we can get at least, like, maybe 4 hours in here instead of 5. What's up, NU? What did I get? Did I get some fragments or something? Yay, I got my 14th key. Alright. Suppose I could get some of these ward skins if I want. I like the crabby skin. Okay, let's go ahead and get in here. Now, where we left off last time, we lost a little bit yesterday, but we did find our footing and get back in there. I think we're at like 50 something. LP. 55. So we're down about a game's worth of LP from last time. It's going to take 3, maybe 4 games to get back in. So we had a bit of a rough night last night, but we'll get back in there. I do think that, so we were just kind of like going 50-50 there at the end, and then we lost like 3 in a row at one point early, and then I took a Malzahar normal game break, and we got back on track, and at least pulled it out going 50-50 there. But yeah, Rakan was a little rough yesterday. I went 1-4, 1-3 as Rakan. 50-50 as Janna, and 50-50 as Sona. Now, Sona has been winning a lot of games for me lately, though. I might be playing some more Sona. Hey, thanks, Blackout Bandit. Hey, what's up, Rune? What's up, Tianaku? Yeah, Janna has been working. Or not Janna. Janna's always kind of working, but she's banned these days. But I do think that, we want Twitch. I do think that Sona has been my best performing support for at least a couple of weeks. So I probably need to be playing more Sona. Let's look. Yeah, I'm 75% with her, and then everything else is a pretty low sample size. I've been playing her a lot too, at least over the last 7 days. I guess we just ban Janna then. I don't want to give him Janna.
As you wish.
I think I've seen this guy before. I mean, I've seen a lot of these people before, probably, but that... I like Zero seems to stand out in my mind. Pyro Fiend. Okay, he's basically a one-trick Poppy. I think Poppy's becoming a little bit better top lane because they just nerfed almost everybody else who's good up there. Jarvan is obnoxious. Is this guy good on Cassio? 36%. That's not what I like to see. But Moo, he does win on a Moo, but a Moo in general is typically not great. We do, I mean, he is a tank though. Poppy is a tank, so they do have kind of a front line going on. And then Twitch does a lot of damage, and like I feel like Alistar is good, and I want to play Alistar, but I'm literally 0-8 in ranked games with Alistar. Like I just cannot win with that champion, and I won with him so much last season. But this season, it's not happening. Like last season, you know, I was 53%. He was my 4th most played champion, and this season, like. Okay, I do like the Tristana pick better, so that he has some kind of counterplay to Jarvan. Like Rakan's an alright pick. Don't really want to do Morgan to Jarvan. I guess I'll just do Sona. Just exhaust him when he comes in, I guess, is what we'll do. Just don't stand close to him and exhaust him. Okay, someone dodged. Good, get me out of that. I was not super thrilled about that team comp. But yeah, I can't, literally 0-8 this season with him, and I was 53% last season. I just cannot win with the guy. I can't, I'm having a really awful season on tanks. I mean, I don't know. Tanks are not happening. I mean, tanks were all the rage last season. They were very strong until they introduced the plus healing and shielding champs. Tom Kench for much of the season was over 60%, and then just like in the back half after they nerfed him a lot and the meta changed to kind of a Karma Zyra meta, then I ended up with 51%, but I was still over 50%. Nautilus is 57, Alistar is 53. You know, and then like the seasons before that, I think tanks were okay too, sort of. I didn't play a lot in season 5. I think that was when I was playing World of Warcraft. At least part of that season. Maybe that was season 6. I played World of Warcraft in the. I'm just waiting a couple of seconds here before I requeue. I played it like pretty close to release of not the newest expansion, but the one before that. I can't even remember the name of it. The one with all the orcs in it. Warlords. And so I guess that was like 2014 into 2015. Winter of 2014 into like June of 2015. So yeah, I think that was this season. That's why I don't have very many games played. Then I played some in the back half of the season. Yeah, I was playing a lot of Magic the Gathering and World of Warcraft. So yeah, not my most stellar season, but still, weren't many tanks there. But certainly tanks were good last season. And this season, I just cannot win with tanks. Nautilus 43, Tom Kench is 43. Gragas is 36. Thresh 30. Alistar 0. Trundle 29. Tarek 14. Like, it's just sad. I just don't think tanks are good right now. 0-4 with Sej. I mean, it could also be a case of I'm picking tanks into just really bad matchups. Like if the enemy team, if we just don't have engage, that's when I would pick a tank. I'm just like, okay, we don't have engage. We need to, you know, we need something to start a fight, which means our compositions are probably pretty weak to begin with, which is why I'm picking them. You got to think of that sometimes when you're looking at statistics. You got to think of past metas, and sometimes if you're going to play a game, you just have to pick champions that aren't optimal because your team just needs it. And my great example for that, I think, was in the winter of 2015 or 2016. My Janna percentage was like 42%. And it was because I always picked Janna. Vayne was very popular, and she was very bad in that meta. And she was the only person who I could even come close to winning with. Was with Janna. And so I just had to pick Janna into bad comps.
As you wish.
And that's just, sometimes that's what you have to do. It's like, it's not quite bad enough to dodge, but it's just not a good composition to begin with. And I feel like that might be what I'm doing with tanks this season, is I'm just picking them if our team comp is overall pretty weak, and like I just need more engage or peel or something, but it's not quite bad enough to dodge. It's kind of what it feels like. Whereas I should probably just dodge them. Or just hold my nose and don't pick a tank. It's just so hard. Because Ardent Sensor, because the first part of the season was defined by super high damage across the board, and they would just kill you if you picked a tank support. And so you might as well just pick Zyra and just try to blow them up before they blow you up. And now it's become a lot about Ardent Sensor and Redemption this season. The tank items have just been trash. I mean, so much of the meta is defined by items. Last season, Locket of Iron Solari was by far and away, and it has been for many seasons, the best item. And it was a tank-oriented item. There was no redemption. Ardent Sensor was a joke before they buffed it. And then they added that stat plus healing and shielding last fall, I believe. And that was really the big changer there. So that's what I think it is. I think it's a lot of itemization. That tank itemization has just been trash this season. Like, tanks are still pretty good in organized play because there are some comps that require you to, like, have engage on tanks. But I don't know. I still think enchanters and, like, utility stuff is still really good. Even at pro play. Okay, I need to look this up. I forgot. I'm just spending too much time talking here. Aurelion Sol is a bizarre champion that most people don't play correctly, so I need to make sure this guy knows what he's doing. And I'll get to the questions here in a second. I forgot my phone locked there. Just kind of walking through my thought process there. I was just reviewing my op.gg today, and I was like, man, I really just do not win with tanks. I need to stop. I don't play them that often, but I know people love tanks, but at least tank supports. Okay, Ramfur doesn't really play Pantheon, but he decides that he wants to play him. He's talking to us like he's an expert on him. Neverlucky's playing Kayn. He does pretty well with that. Zubon. 33% Caitlyn. Aurelion Sol, the odd cat. I don't see any Aurelion Sol. I probably should have dodged it. I was just talking too much and didn't figure it out fast enough. So we've got an inexperienced Aurelion Sol, which he's a very difficult champion. Like, he's kind of like Bard. Like, he has massive map presence, but you have to know when and how to do it, or he's just worthless if you don't use your map presence correctly. I mean, they have kind of a misfit team as well, but Mundo's coming back a lot, and I'm not exactly sure why, but I've seen him a lot more lately. I mean, obviously, like, Spirit Visage, like, the buffs to Spirit Visage help him, Thornmail helps him. It must be, like, they nerfed something in the meta that was really good against him. I mean, Fiora was nerfed, and that enabled a lot of tanks. I mean, I guess they have nerfed Cho'Gath, Maokai, just like all the other tanks they've nerfed him. Galio. So maybe he's just stepping up. They did buff him a little bit a couple of patches ago. I've just been seeing him a lot more lately. I haven't been keeping up with the Illuminati. Maybe someone hyped him up. Okay, let me pull up the chat here.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
So maybe he's just stepping up. They did buff him a little bit a couple of patches ago. I've just been seeing him. Alright, let's see. Oh, free magic resist on the E. As a non-tanky support, how do I play around tanky supports? I don't get caught by their crowd control. And then I just outscale them. I just buy Ardent Censer and Redemption and win, basically. Oh wait, is the camera frozen? Wait, is the face cam dead? Okay, hold on, let me see. Oh, crap. Sorry, it is. I don't know what happened there. Okay, I'll have to fix it after this game. Sorry about that. You'll just have to deal with my voice for this game. I guess it glitched out. I just noticed. Sorry about that. I know that's awkward. You'll just have to listen to me this game. And then I'll look into it after this game. Sometimes the software is really weird on that. Usually I catch it before the game starts. It's rare, but it does happen occasionally. And it's a pretty cheap webcam as far as webcams go. But it usually works. Yeah, my bad. I'll have to fix it after this. You'll just have to just watch the game and hear the audio for now, I suppose. Oh yeah, he did get that MR on his E. Yeah, so I guess he's really good against other magic top people, and people are playing more magic top, I guess, as far as tanks go. I probably should have dodged this, just because Kate and, no one's playing a champion that they have a lot of experience on, as far as I can tell. So that's problematic. Which is bad. Usually you need at least, like, a couple of people to play champions they know how to play. Pantheon's already crying for a gank, like one of the most lane-dominant champions in existence. How did he even get in there? What? He poofed from the other bush, is that what it was? This guy's probably a one-trick Shaco. Almost all Shacos are. And he's just gonna camp us. Yeah, Ashe is not very good, is why people don't play it. Don't spoil the ending. I've only watched the first 2 games of the Fnatic game, so don't spoil it on here. But the first 2 games, they picked Ashe. One of the teams picked Ashe. I won't spoil anything either. And I was just like face palming, like, why? Why? That's what I was asking the whole time. I was like, why? It's just, it's not the meta for her. You need power. AD carries are super powerful right now. The thing is, like, Ashe is powerful when AD carries are not powerful, if that makes sense. So, like, when you need utility, when you just need someone who can start a fight, then you can pick Ashe. But right now, AD carries are so powerful with the crit bonuses and with Ardent Sensor that you want raw power. You want Twitch. You want Callista. You want Tristana, you know. You want, like, powerhouse things that are going to do a ton of damage, and Ashe is not that champion most of the time. She sacrifices some damage for utility. So early in the season, when AD carries weren't really that good, because of the lethality meta, and because Critical Strike wasn't that great, and Rengar and Kha'Zix were everywhere, and all that stuff, you needed initiation because Rengar and Kha'Zix don't have a lot of initiation, so you would run Ashe in the ADC slot as your initiation. Because top lane, I don't remember what people were playing top lane back then. I think it was something heavy damage. I know it was Kha'Zix and Rengar in the jungle all the time. I feel like top was it like Fiora? I can't remember what was top back then. But I know that jungle was by far and away the most powerful slot, and you needed them to be very heavy damage. Right now, junglers are often tanks that can engage fights, and so you don't need that initiation as much. You just rather have the raw damage to complement the tanks. So it just depends on the meta why Ashe is good. And it's if ADCs are bad, Ashe is good. That's usually how it goes. It's also that's part of the reason why Varus was really good back then too. Varus, Jhin. Jhin actually did pretty good damage back then. He was the overpowered AD carry back then before they nerfed him a lot. And she's particularly bad in solo queue because a lot of her strengths revolve around pro play in the sense that her hawk shot can go through the jungle and time jungle camps. So you know where the enemy jungler is going to be because you can kind of get a sense for when their camps are going to respawn. No, we're not going to get it. If she hit that, maybe, but... So, you know, she's really good for coordination. Also, like, to play Ashe correctly, you really have to maximize her 625 range to start. So you have to poke enemy champions and really be very careful about your positioning because she doesn't have any escapes during the laning phase. So she can be really good in pro play in certain metas. But she's almost historically always been fairly weak in solo queue, except very small windows where she's been oppressively strong. So unless you're using her utility properly, her range for poke early, her hawk shot, for proper scouting and intel against the enemy, you're hitting all of your arrows and all that stuff, then I don't think she's that good in solo queue. She's not worth the pick. Twitch is much easier. Just play Twitch every game that he's not banned. Because it doesn't matter how far behind you fall. With Twitch, if the game drags on to 25 minutes and you just get 2 items, you just roll up invisible at 850 range, press R and right click, and just kill everybody. And if you do get ahead and you're a smart Twitch player, you can actually roam around and gank. So he doubles up as an assassin if he's ahead, but he can just kind of stall it out also if he's behind and scale into the late game and be a great team fighter. So he's a great assassin and he's a great team fighter. Yeah, I know it's frozen. I'm sorry, guys. I'll have to reset it after this. Ugh. I thought his shield was still down. I shouldn't have wasted my flash. I thought his shield was still going to be down. I shouldn't have wasted flash there. I guess he's maxing his shield first. A lot of people will max their E in lane and then they switch to shield. This Kane's doing a great job. I think Kane's actually a pretty good jungler right now. He's a hybrid where he's kind of tanky, but if he goes red form, then he also can do some pretty significant damage too. And he's pretty good against tanks because of his max health. I didn't really need to exhaust anybody there, though. I mean, I could have, I guess. I thought we were decisively winning it. And my exhaust may have been on cooldown, too. I don't think we have enough power.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Damn it. Yo, Caitlyn, hi. What's going on, buddy? Is Caitlyn freaking kidding me or what? Like, seriously, I pinged it like 3 or 4 times, and Caitlyn literally sits here. The CS wasn't even in the tower. She sits here and CS's for another like 5 seconds while I get chased from here to like here. I don't even think she autos them, even when I'm in this bush. Should just given up the dragon, I guess, even though we had full vision of it and numbers. And we're just stronger in general on the map than they are. Where the F was she? Is she getting wolves? I'm not a troll, I'm serious. What's troll? Like, what's not sincere about that? No, I don't go Ardent Sensor Rush all the time. It depends on the game. I mean, how could she not know? We had full vision, and I used 8 pings on it. Like, you can't plead ignorance on that. There's no way. Aurelion Sol, sure, it takes him time to move over there. Like, he has a move speed. I get Aurelion Sol, but Caitlyn was right there. All I needed for her to do was come up and, like, just drop a trap or something. They would have stopped chasing me if they saw her there. It's whatever. We'll move on, but I'm not happy about that. No, 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 no. Dude, he's too big, man. Well, it's not just one mistake. It gave 3 kills, a tower, and an infernal. Like, it's not like, oops, she missed a couple of CS, you know? It's a massive, massive, massive mistake. And it wasn't a mechanical mistake. It was a simply, like, just not following ping's mistake. Like, if she misses a skill shot or something, that happens, but... You know, I don't get as frustrated about that. But that's straight up just ignoring pings, and that pisses me off. Let's turn this entire game around. Like, if that play didn't happen, we would still be very, very far ahead. Like I said, I understand Aurelion Sol has a move speed. I wasn't expecting him to be there, but I was expecting Kate to be there because she was there. She just didn't do anything. Yeah, I wasted Flash because they used Ignite. I didn't know they had Ignite. Once again, I'm expecting Caitlyn to, like, drop traps or something here. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Caitlyn again, to drop traps. But... Well, Lux does have her ult up all the time. That's Lux's thing. She has high uptime on her burst damage. God bless. I'm going to need a normal after just one game. This is like one of the most stressful games I've played. Like, they chased me literally from here all the way up to here. Aurelion Soul's farming the side lane. Someone else is farming right there. Like, not a single person will come over and throw something to me. I don't know what you're talking about, Sliver. I haven't been reading the chat, but I'll give you a quick hint. When I'm fired up like this, when I'm not having a good game, I'm not looking for criticism. Just wait. Just wait like 10 minutes. Let me be out of the game. Let me chill for a second, and then you can critique something about the game. If you want to have a good response for me about like something that I may or may not have misplayed. Yeah, the face cam's frozen. I'll have to fix that after. I don't know what happened with it. It froze like right when I got into the game. At least that's when I figured out about it. I don't want to yell at someone. I just want my teammates to like help me when I'm in trouble, when I'm getting run down by assassins and they're very close to me. That's all I want. I don't want to yell at anybody. I just want a good game. I just want platinum players on my team. I mean, I shouldn't have been there at the Dragon. I should have just given it up after Kane died. I thought maybe we could stall it, but you can't without a team. And they weren't there, so that's just how it is. The Caitlyn thing, though, there's no excuse for that, though. The Caitlyn around the Dragon, because she was right there. She just did not move. I mean, maybe she lagged out or something. I don't know. It looked to me like she was just sitting there farming when they were trying to go contest Dragon in plain vision when we had people there. Like, it was just 3 of them. Aurelion Soul, Caitlyn, and I could have collapsed and stalled. We don't have to fight them there. We were stronger than them at that point in the game. I mean, I'll look at that again, but I don't understand what was going on there. God, Mundo feels pretty difficult to deal with right now. Wait, how's Pantheon being negative? I haven't even read the chat. Pantheon's fine.
Your turret has been destroyed.
You know, we don't give him the third Infernal. We've already given him the first two. Well, it's just too much of a mental stretch right now. I can't do that right now. I'll do it in a little bit when we have something, like, good going on. God, are they going to take it because our jungler went topside? Of course they are. We had to try. We're so far behind, we had to try. Their jungler was dead too. Our jungler just decides he wants to go get golems. Yeah, he's right. Let me fix the webcam real quick. I may have to log off and log back on. I mean, let me see. It's not working there either. That glitched out. Where's NVIDIA's share? It was Runtime Broker messing it up. I find that thing messing up a lot of stuff. Let me see if it was Runtime Broker. No. Let me try just a couple more things. Is it not even going to let me remove it? Wow, what? So anything that has anything to do with this software is just like tripping right now. Oh my god. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna have to shut this down. Let me fix this. It'll take like 5 minutes. Plug it back in. I guess I could do that. Let me try unplugging it, plugging it back in. I think it's a software thing, but I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Let me see if I can just, because I'm gonna have to close OBS, I think. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Sorry, I was getting a little hot that game. I was pretty pissed. Let me see. I just want to watch that play. Maybe I was wrong about Kate. I mean, maybe I just didn't see it. Maybe something was distracting her. Okay, so she's right here farming. It's not pushing into the wave. We know Shaco is going for... Oh, I got the webcam controls now. Okay, so she's right there. She was right there. Hold on. She's walking with me. Okay, so I'm starting to run away. I ping it a couple of times. Okay, so she's right there farming. Alright. She's right there. Okay, I'm pinging it several times. I'm like, okay, let's go do this. She's walking with me. She's literally acknowledging my pings and walking this direction. Okay? So what goes wrong here? Okay. She's there. She started CSing again instead of following me, so she's behind me. She literally just walks away. Doesn't even drop traps. Okay, she drops a trap. Doesn't auto-attack him at all. Okay, whatever. I guess I should have just given him that dragon. Okay, let me see. Did it start going finally? Webcam options. It's still glitching out though. Yeah, I just got to restart my computer. Okay, so I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Just let me restart everything and see if that works. But yeah, I'll be back in a little bit. All right, everybody, I got it back. Let me just match this up really quick. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Airplane of the Game of League of Legends. I just wanted to put it back in there just so that everyone knows that I am coming back. Alright, everybody. I got it back. I just have to change the size here to get it right. I'm trying to remember how I did that. I think it was like... Hold on, let me see. So if I do this, I think I full screen it. Then I minimize it. I have to go back and watch the recordings. I have to like resize it and put it down here. But I can't remember how I looked to see. There was something where like I could watch the recording to see if it's lined up correctly with like an old game, but I can't remember how I did that. Oh, did I just pull it up like this? Okay, here we go. That, I think. I'm like watching me. Okay. I think that's probably good. If that covers up some kind of information, just let me know. But I think that should be... I think that should be sufficient. Okay. Probably need to move it down a little bit, though. There we go. Okay, hopefully that'll cover it. Alright, let's get back in there. Yeah, sorry about that last one. I was kind of hot about that Kate thing. I should have just let it go. But I don't know why. It just really triggered me. Then everyone's just leaving me out to die. This is what, I mean, this is a weakness of Sona, right? Is if they have something like a really fed Shaco, and if your team doesn't rotate to help you, you just can't get a lot done. It's really very difficult to get any kind of reasonable wards on the map. But we were winning. Like, we were pretty far ahead until everyone gave up on that Infernal. And a lot of that was just the jungler being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and some of that was me trying to force plays that weren't possible because the jungler was in the wrong place at the wrong time. So he was making some okay plays, but his macro was just really far off. Anyways, and I mean, I should have dodged that game, just straight up. Like, I knew that Caitlyn was like 33% Caitlyn, and Aurelion Sol had no games on Aurelion Sol. Like, it was looking okay, but the inexperience was definitely showing across the board, so it's fine. We'll move on to the next game. Okay, and then I need to... Well, Shaco's like a one-trick type of champion. Like, the people on their team probably had way more experience on their champions than we did. At least the Shaco did. Most likely. I would guess he's a one-trick Shaco. Yeah. So he has like 200 Shaco games. Yeah, he's only 50%, but that's still 200 games on Shaco, right? Like, that's still experience. Versus our guy... has 37k in games. So he's okay, but 37k... Wow, he's lost a lot. Oh my god. What? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's 1 and 9, so he's definitely on like full tilt mode, probably. They're pretty close to it. So he's definitely been demoted. So he was Platinum or Diamond 5, and he's been demoted recently, and so he's probably just tilting all the way. He's like, whatever, I'm just... Okay. Whatever, let's look at this game. No wonder he's not thinking clearly.
As you wish.
I'm gonna give it a second. There might be a troll on the enemy team. I don't want to get him on my team. I mean, I have videos on macro. I have a mastering the map video and my how to win video. Just do exclamation point win where I talk about it quite a lot, but not everyone's gonna, you know, watch my channel, obviously. And I'm not always like the perfect player when it comes to that stuff. But I think I do have a lot of pretty good basic information that I wish people knew. Okay, that's long enough on that. Wait, I was talking about Ashe earlier. Have I played 2 games or 1 game? Did we lose 2 games? Or did we win that first one? Or was that... I'm so confused. Wasn't I talking about Ashe earlier? Like, on the stream? Was it a remake or something? No, there's an Ashe on the enemy team. Okay. That's what it is. I feel like it was on my team, but no. How much experience did this Aurelion Soul have? It was like literally his first game on Aurelion Soul.
Draven out.
Yeah, I should have just dodged it. Tripping. How am I tripping? Oh, are you watching from earlier? I mean, Soraka is one of those champions where she's really good if the enemy team doesn't buy Executioner's Calling. Or Thornmail. Oh, the Ashe thing. Yeah, I don't know, I'm tired too. I still have to work on my syllabus a little bit also. Well, we've got an AD top and an AD jungler. Oh man, I really don't, that's so much damage over there, I don't want to deal with that. I can't do Sona and all of that. I'm not gonna unbench the Kench. Why would Thornmail matter? Because, like, your AD carry, like, if you're trying to heal somebody, let's say you're trying to heal, at Soraka, you're trying to heal your tank, if their AD carry is hitting the tank, then the Thornmail is gonna apply the stuff to the tank. Or to the person getting attacked. I guess I'll go with Nami.
I decide what the tide will bring.
She's marginally safer than Sona. Pretty good with Twitch. Like, let's say that you're trying to heal your Gragas, who's going up and getting hit by everyone on their team. Your Gragas... I'm too tired for this. It matters. Thornmail matters. If you're trying to heal your AD carry who's trying, like, common scenario, there is a tank chasing, there's a Dr. Mundo chasing your Twitch or whatever, right? You're trying to heal your Twitch through the Dr. Mundo damage. Twitch has to hit Dr. Mundo. Twitch is going to get the debuff on him from hitting Dr. Mundo. He can't just not hit Dr. Mundo. You can't just ignore him because he's in your face. So you have to hit him, and that lowers your healing a lot. That's what I'm trying to say. So Thornmail matters a lot. Like, that hurts Soraka a lot. And then they can always, their AD carry can always just get Executioners, and that's what hurts your tanks. Because they're going to be hitting your tanks and applying grievous wounds, and your heals are only going to be half as effective. So I would Zyra. It's a three-way switch? What? And Morellonomicon is also like a super popular item on a lot of mid laners. So you've got Morellonomicon, you've got Executioners, which smart AD carries will buy against Soraka, and then you've got now Thornmail. It says 3 different items. So Thornmail's pretty popular to begin with also. Morello's like almost every mid laner gets that item. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. So, like, Soraka can be effective. She just gets hosed so hard. Because that's her whole thing, is the healing. And so, you know, that's why I like someone like Sona a little bit better, because, yeah, she does get hurt by Executioners also, but at least half of her healing, like, in a team fight, half, if not more than half, is the shield off of her W, which doesn't get reduced. And she has a crowd control ultimate, and she puts out quite a bit of damage with her Q in fights, and she has the movement speed buff with her E. I mean, Zyra can be good. If this Twitch goes Doran shield, she's not going to be doing much, though. And I can heal through a lot of her early poke. And I'll go ahead and VOD this one. Let me see if we can get some good VODs here. Hey, buddy, welcome back. They were playing the game of League of Legends. I'm the Strategy Professor. Doing a little Nami action here. Pick Nami. Nami's pretty good with Twitch. She's a little bit safer than Sona. She can play further back. And they have a LeBlanc and a Wukong and a Zyra, so I want to play further back. LeBlanc's still going to be a really big problem, no matter how you cut it. Excuse me. Alright, I'm gonna drink of water here. I think if they got rid of the 10% of your max health, yeah, but that's her whole thing, and she has to sacrifice because her healing is so hard. It's so hardcore. Like, if they got rid of the 10% max health, they would have to increase the mana cost on her heal significantly. And I think they were trying to make her unique to where she has to use her own health, and in exchange for that, she has very low mana costs. And she tries to siphon her health back with her Qs. So, in theory, you know, her Q should be replenishing her while she's using her own health to heal. I think they could make the Qs replenish more, and that might make up for it. But, I mean, that's how she was originally. Like, back in Season 1 and before a lot of her reworks, is her W was a very low cooldown, pretty high sustain heal. And then she was also a mana battery, which I thought was kind of cool. It gave her more utility, where she could point click silence a person, or she could give mana to allies with her E, so she could give some of her mana over to allies. I wish they would bring that back. I think that would be cool. Give her a bit more utility, but... But it made her too passive. It made her where she could play really far back, and they really don't want to encourage that from champions. You back up. She's basically out of mana now. I'm trying to block the Ezreal Qs. Yeah, that is a sigh, for sure. I mean, she has teleport and you have ignite and she kills you pre-6. It's definitely a sigh-worthy moment. Dude, you picked into that matchup. Like, if you don't like the matchup, don't pick into it. He's not down that much. Oh, he started Doran's Blade, I think. That was his problem. He needed Doran's shield. Now he's got a shield. Jesus Christ. Alright, well, we'll put it at for that VOD. Nah, Janna's the most nerfed champ of all time. Ezreal's not really back into the meta. This guy's just playing him. This Twitch is just going way too hard too early. Like, he should just go for small trades. He's going for all-ins when he doesn't have his summoners. He knows I didn't have exhaust, and he's like going into their minion wave. I think Sivir's really good.
Enemy killing spree.
I mean, yeah, I do think that Soraka needs buffs, but dude, is that 3? Well, that's...
An enemy has been
It's gonna be really hard to win. She's one of the champions that there's virtually no counterplay to her if she gets ahead. I should have picked Fiddle, probably, because Fiddle can at least fear her late game unless she gets a Banshee's Veil, which does slow down a bunch of her damage. Can you kill him, please? Okay, thank you. I ran out of mana to heal. Sucked. I should have been using my biscuit.
Quit flopping around.
Well, you could try by picking a champion that you think is good into LeBlanc. Clearly, you don't think this is a good pick into LeBlanc. So I don't know why you would opt into it. It's not like she picked into him. He's not like she counterpicked him. In theory, I think that Echo should be good against LeBlanc, but I don't know. Why don't you try Cassidon? Cassidon's extremely good into LeBlanc.
My people are counting on me.
He gets a shield, he gets free magic resist. He's just as mobile as she is.
Ride upon the waves.
He's brain dead easy to play. Or like Galio or something and just build all magic resist. I don't know. That's just... I feel like you can't complain about a champion if you opt into that matchup, right? If you're the counter pick in your mid lane.
slain.
Why would you get boots too? I guess so he can dodge better, but that feels really bad. He has like 3 starting items and boots too, and Ezreal's already on Sheen. Sheen tier.
Ally has been slain.
Well, this is just gonna be one of those games.
Unstoppable.
Hey, thanks for the sub, appreciate it.
Your turret has been destroyed.
MF support was okay for a while. I do like MF support, and, you know, well, better ADC also win Switch. I mean, you're losing to an Ezreal. I want you to pause and think about that. They've nerfed Black Cleaver quite a bit, and they nerfed the way that Spell Thieves interacts with MF's W, or her E, or the Make It Rain. Now these guys are talking about who's like worse. Dude, it doesn't matter. Everybody gets the same loss. We still have the potential for a lot of damage on our team. It's just, the problem is, like, LeBlanc doesn't have counterplay. When she gets really far ahead, she's too mobile. I think they need to just increase her cooldowns. I don't know. Like, it's hard to keep her identity because she's supposed to be really mobile. Like, that's her thing. But the problem with really mobile champions that can go in and one-shot people and get out, where their ult's on, like, a 20-second cooldown or whatever her ult is. You shouldn't have an all-in rotation that's under 1 minute in cooldown, I don't think. That's as easy to execute as LeBlanc's is, because she can jump right in your face and hit it. At least Lux's requires, like, some skill shots, and Lux doesn't have escapes. She has to hit you from a distance, so... You know, Lux is okay to have an all-in combo that works. I mean, I can't contest that. But I think LeBlanc's... I think Cassidon's in a good place, in terms of, like... He takes a while to ramp up. If he goes in, he can't go out. He has to choose whether he wants to go in or whether he wants to go out. I thought he was overpowered for a while there, but I think the meta's balanced out now to where Cassidon is strong, but he's not oppressive. Because if he goes in, he can't go out immediately. That's the thing, is... We don't have vision, bro. Like, what? Are you kidding me? You're acting like you have an Infinity Edge, when instead you have a Cole. And he sold both his Doran's Shield and his Doran's Blade. Oh no, he still has his Doran's Blade, he just sold his Doran's Shield. I guess I can practice on getting that ward right. There we go. Got that going for us. A little warding practice. But yeah, that's the problem with LeBlanc, is her go in is also her go out, and she can one-shot people in that rotation. And that's... shouldn't happen. You should have to choose.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your turret has been destroyed. An enemy
I mean, they could do something to, like, maybe punish her if she misses more. Like, maybe her jump back only, like, the cooldown only works if you hit your chain. If you miss your chain, then you don't get to jump back out. Like, that could be something interesting. Where the chain cooldown, like, your jump back on the W can't be reactivated for, like, I don't know, 4 seconds or something. But if you hit the chain, then that's reduced to instant knockback. So then if you hit your chain, then you can go back. But if you miss your chain, then you're kind of screwed. She just needs more windows of counterplay like that, I think. God, he does no damage. Like, there are some matchups that are okay into her. Like, it's not like she's always overpowered, but it's just, she's too snowbally, and it's because she's too safe. Yeah, but he doesn't play Hecarim now. I didn't see the whole conversation about Pants, but I mean, he just found something that was really good in a meta, and he played it a lot. I mean, that's what a lot of, you know, good players do. They play good champions. Hecarim was pretty good for a lot of last season, but they've nerfed him a lot. There are some champions that I think can be really strong that aren't popular. Just because it's popular doesn't mean that it's strong, and vice versa. Because it's not popular doesn't mean that it's not strong, but... I don't know. I think our picks are okay. I don't think we have bad champions in the game. I think Echo's a good champion. I think all of our picks are pretty good. They're just better than we are. Like, that's just all there is to it. Echo just does not know this matchup. I feel like Echo could, in theory, be a good matchup against LeBlanc because he can get out of her chains with his ult. But of course her chains are on a much lower cooldown, so... I don't know. I feel like it should at least be like an average matchup. I feel it shouldn't be an 0-5 in lane matchup. I don't think anything should be an 0-5 in lane matchup. He needed to get magic resist. Like, if you watched me playing against LeBlanc the other day... I think it was either in ranked or normals, I can't remember. And I think I was playing Cassiopeia. I I switched it up. I went for a, I went Abyssal Mask. And then I also think I got Banshees after that. And we ended up winning the game. I think I died twice in lane. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop dying. And I did. And then I just got Magic Resist. And then just waited for the right time. And then later on, the team, you know, bot lane won. And then top lane was doing okay. And then I was good later on in a team fight because I stopped feeding her. And I got Magic Resist. Oh, he's dead. So that's what you have to do. And I think I ended the game something like 7-3 and 15 or something. And I was about even on CS. I just had to chill. Now Cassiopeia is a lot better at chilling because she's ranged and she has much better wave clear than Echo. But that's the kind of thing you have to do, is you have to switch your build. If you're losing, play like you're losing. Stop fighting. Get defensive items. Play champions that can do that. If you're playing a champion where the only way you win is if you're winning, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of those champions. The win more type of champs. No, I think Echo's just playing a champion he doesn't know how to play. I mean, that happens so much in Platinum, especially. I see it all the time, where people get to a certain elo with a certain champion, you know, or even a certain type of champion, and then they get bored. Then all of a sudden they want to play something that they don't know how to play because they just want to try out new stuff, and they do it in ranked before they know how to do it in normals. And then it just looks like they're awful. When in fact, they're just playing something they don't know how to play. And they're just playing against really good people doing it. You know, if you're trying out new stuff in, like, Silver 5, like, or whatever, that's one thing, and it's gonna be hard. But you're still playing against, like, you know, the average player, right? You're playing against the top, you know, 50% of players, right? You're playing about average. If you try to bust out something in Platinum... See, that shouldn't be able to happen. I know she's fed, but that's just stupid. That there's no counterplay to that at all. But they try to bust out stuff they don't know how to play against the top 3% of players. It's like trying to bust out your new moves like in an NBA game or something like that you've never tried out before or whatever. Like try some crazy ball handling skill and just like trip and fall flat on your face against a good defender. You know, you can do that on the playground. You can't do that in like a professional... This isn't like professional, but against the top 3% of people. They just think they're a lot better than they are, when in fact a lot of people get to Platinum because they play a certain set of champions that they're very good at. And that's why, is because they practice it a lot. They're very good at it. But they're not nearly as good when they play other things. They don't have good enough macro. That's been a lesson over and over and over again the last few days, is a lot of games that I lose, a lot of it has to do with macro. People just... I mean, people like Faker can bust out weird things. But even Faker practices stuff before he plays it. A lot of times, before he plays it in pro play. But he's the best player in the world, or at least in the conversation. He's historically the best player in the world. But anyways. So that's my advice to people. If you really are serious about climbing, if you want to play something, practice it first. A lot in normal. If it's something that's similar to other stuff that you play, okay, sure. You know, if you play Sona a lot and you want to play some Nami, it's like, alright, they're similar in playstyle, so you don't need as much practice there, right? Maybe just, you know, a handful of games. But if you're playing a champion that's totally different, or that's particularly hard, you need to practice it in normals first. Hence why I play Cassiopeia. I've been practicing Cassiopeia in normals and not in ranked. If I get auto-filled, I play her in ranked, but I'm not actively seeking to play her in ranked. Yeah, I haven't followed LZ that closely. I really like Prey and Gorilla, though. They were my favorite bot lane last season when they were on rocks. And Smeb, you know, Smeb got a lot of the credit for rocks, I think. Smeb and Peanut got all the accolades, but really, Prey, like... Prey and Gorilla are very good. I'm pretty sure Gorilla's the one who invented the Misfortune support. At least he popularized it in the pro scene. He's very creative, very cool guy. I watched his interview. He seems very humble. Very cool. I don't know him personally, obviously, but they just seem like some nice guys. I like them. I think the meta just shifted against, well, I won't talk about that because people may not have seen like the results of the SKT versus LZ yet, so I don't want to spoil it. It did happen like a few days ago, but I'll just say that meta shifts hurt some teams more than others. And that's just how the game works. And that keeps it fresh. You don't want to see the same team winning every time. Well, I guess that's spoilery. Okay, fine. If you didn't see it, go watch it. It's an interesting set of games, but the fact that I said this, you don't want to see the same team win every time, sort of accidentally gave it away there. Yeah, I think the big part... I think early in the season they goofed up, and I think it was a coaching mistake. I think they put Faker on too many utility things. They're having him play Galio and all this other crap. And I think TSM did that too when they were early in the season when they had Bjergsen playing these utility things. And I know they have an explanation for it, right? But I don't like that explanation. I think you need to play around your strength. And once they started putting Faker back on the heavy damage stuff, I think they were doing much better. But... I'm just talking about something relevant here, because this game's not relevant anymore, and it hasn't been for a little while. I think Mobies are the good... Mobies are the good default boots, because you do, like, the thing about Mobies is it helps you ward better, helps you clear pink wards safer because you can run away faster, and it helps you get back to lane faster so that your AD carry doesn't die, and so that you get the experience. And of course it lets you roam for ganks as well, but even on someone like Nami who doesn't have the greatest ganks in the world, I think it's still worthwhile because you get back to lane, you get experience, you can ward faster, and you leave your AD carry alone for less time. You don't leave them alone as much. But yeah, I think that... didn't SKT switch top laners at some point this season? I don't know. They had a lot of roster changes, and I thought their roster was fine from last season. I don't know what was up with Bang and Wolf. I think they just weren't that great in the current meta. They just got smoked by Prey, and I think that happened last season too. I think that Prey and Gorilla just outplayed in that Rocks SKT series. I think that Prey and Gorilla were just better, but from what I remember, they were getting bailed out by Bengi, right? So they brought in Bengi in the SKT series, SKT Rocks, and Bengi is the one who ended up turning it around and winning it. And that was someone who played very heavily around Faker, and they just played around Faker. They got a jungler in there. They subbed out whatever his name is. I can't remember. Blank. For Bengi, and Bengi won the tournament, basically. Like, that was the real finals, was SKT versus Rocks Tigers. And then they got rid of Bengi this season. They brought in Peanut, who is a carry jungler, and they don't need a carry jungler. Although I think Peanut was doing pretty well. Like, he doesn't seem like he's as good on tanks. And I mean, bless Blank, dude. The guy tries, but I just feel like he's just not. They need someone else in the jungle, and I felt like top lane was getting smoked too. Faker was doing all right, sort of, kind of. That's what I remember, but bot lane was just getting trashed, and they were just getting outpicked. I don't remember the exact picks, but I just remember watching it in Champion Select and just being like, man, they just got outdrafted again and again and again. I think Gorilla... What did they keep playing? Didn't they play Janna some of those games? I can't remember the picks. But I just remember, like, just thinking, man, they just got outdrafted, like, really hard. In several of those games. Yeah, I think that's it. I guess Khan was really kind of the monster. I hadn't really followed them all season that much. I watched some stuff, but I can't watch all of it. I would, like, watch SKT and SSG.
Draven out.
But yeah, they just... Well, I know that the bot lane kept destroying the other bot lane, like, hard. Even though they were getting camped and stuff like that, like, I feel like Prey and Gorilla were just crushing them bot lane. I don't remember, like, the specific matchups, but... I don't know. I don't like that either, Joshua, when you bring that up. They have it because they're a really famous team and people really want to be on their bench because you might get a chance to play. But yeah, they turn around. They don't give people a lot of chances to catch up. Please don't do Corki. Zaya's okay. I mean, let me focus up here really quick. Cookie Monster has played a little bit of Zaya. Oh, they took Rakan. Damn it. I wanted Rakan. Jan's banned. Wait, is that Joker again? Okay, so that's... We've seen this guy. Top lane, Shaco, don't do that, please, dude. He's just really, really wanting to get demoted. This is the problem with this LP system. That's a big part of it, is people at 0 LP just don't care if they lose, I feel like, a lot of the times. Because they don't think they're going to get demoted, and then they do. Like, that's why I like just the flat number, because every time, every game matters. If it's like a flat 4-digit number, every game matters. And it's clear, because there's no, like, none of the 0 LP, like, mystery. Am I going to get demoted or am I not going to get demoted type of stuff. Because people at 0 LP have a higher tendency to troll than the normal population. Does he play top Shaco? I just played on his team, right? Yeah, he was Yi and tilted. It doesn't look like he plays top Shaco. What's the jungler, though? The jungler's Malphite? We are basically all AD. I guess Corki does some AP.
We'll bring them pain.
I guess. Damn it, I should dodge, but we do have a lot of damage on our team. Yeah, Janet's really strong right now. I mean, I'm going to have to go with LZ is going to be... I mean, I think LZ is favored to win Worlds at this point. Nice, good job, Felipe. I can double the Ardent Sensor on people. All I have to do with Stoneborn Pact Morgana is just press Alt. Or just hit somebody with a Q. And it'll apply the Ardent Sensor. And the shield also applies Ardent Sensor. The reason that I picked Morgana is it's very good against Recon engages. And it's very good against Malphite engages. Like, the Shaco pick is pretty trash, but everything else on our team is, like, alright. It's like, that's really trash, though. I mean, I probably should have dodged just off of that pick, but the rest of our team, like, we have the potential to carry. As long as he doesn't feed too much. He's against Vlad without Ignite, so... And they have a Malphite jungle who's really slow in the jungle. So that's another reason, is like they have a very slow jungle, so we're going to get to scale, and I think we decidedly have a lot more damage late game than they do. And they don't have a... They do have some ways to break Black Shield, but not a lot. Like, Talia can break it, but Malphite's not going to break it, and Vlad's not going to break it for a while. I think it's more probable than it seems, as long as Shaco doesn't feed. As long as he stays within, like, 40 CS of Vlad, and doesn't die more than 2 times, I think that we can maybe do it. Because we're going to have the split push advantage. No one over there can match Master Yi in splitting. I don't think it's 90%. I think it's close to... We have about a 40% chance to win, which means, like, if it is 40%, we should have a dodge. But the thing is, like I said, everything except for Shaco, I actually kind of like the matchups. It doesn't really help, I guess, prevent any damage, but whatever. I should have probably just opened with my W just to push the wave faster, but whatever. Well, they don't have enough CC for Yi, and they can't CC Yi with a Black Shield on him. That's the thing. Is we have 3 really hyper carry champions with Corki, Yi, and Xayah who do a ton of damage, and they don't have good ways to get around Black Shield. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and VOD this one. Hello, buddy. Welcome back. Today we're playing the game of League of Legends. I'm the Strategy Professor doing a little Morgana action here. Questionable game. I maybe should have dodged. We have a Shaco top. I mean, Shaco does push really quickly with his boxes. And I guess he does have some escapes if they gank him. He does have a lot of experience on Shaco, at least. No, there's no point in taking Spell Thieves until they buff it some. Like, the only point is if you have a champion that can really leverage, like, once you get that 35 AP at level, you know, once you complete around level 12 or so, maybe, but I would honestly just take coin even on things like Brand and Zyra at this point. It's just more mana early so you can harass more early on, and you're just going to scale much better into the late game. And you complete your forward item faster so you can move on. See, I mean, we're basically going to get the early game. Malphite can't do anything until he hits 6, and he has a very slow jungle clear. Especially if Yi takes some of his stuff. Did he flash? I know they healed. I don't think he flashed. Yeah, I mean, the Black Shield just totally ruins Rakan and Malphite's engages. I just have to be quick on the draw. Yeah, Morgana is excellent against all-in engaged champions that don't have escapes, really. Rakan does have some escapes, but he's very reliant on hitting people with his engage. I know, I play a lot of Rakan, and it sucks going against Morgana. Well, I wish we'd just go for late game here and not try to do anything fancy. Just trying to help push. Sivir does run out of mana if she doesn't hit any spell shield stuff. Yeah, we're pretty far ahead. It also heals you up. Yeah, last time I saw Malphite, he had 12 CS. I can't really Q her here. She's going to spell shield it. I was a little late on that spell shield on Xayah. That was bad. Can you do Dragon yet?
An ally has been slain.
Fucking lag. Oh, they're all down there. Well, I probably would have died there too if I just stayed. So. Guys, anyone? Hello?
Your team has destroyed a turret. Without mercy. They will suffer.
I mean, Zaya would have been there, but she wasn't, so we just shouldn't have done it. Let's give it up.
Feel my pain.
Yeah, the Drake is worth contesting because we can win it. Like, Malphite had no ult. They were really low. I had just popped 6. I had my ult. Zaya, I'm pretty sure had her ult. If she didn't have her ult, she still had her damage. The Shaco top pick is just absolute trash. Like, I don't know. I should have just dodged it. This is like what couldn't happen. We had to just, like, not everybody die. And just scale, and, like, Yi later on in the game can be relevant. But as I always say, anyone that picks something that's, like, that obscure and that weak in lane isn't really interested in winning. Like, they're just interested, they're just bored, you know? Like, anyone that's picking Shaco. For a top lane isn't interested in winning. They're just Diamond 5, 0 LP, and they think that they're not going to get demoted, so they don't care. And that's the truth.
Without mercy.
Well, Shaco's okay in the jungle. It's that it's a Shaco top lane. That's the problem. Shaco's okay in the jungle. If you're a specialist Shaco in the jungle, he's okay. It's just top lane, he's, like, absolute trash. He's just not a good champion at all. His kit is not designed to be played top lane. He's based on the element of surprise and mobility. And you have none of that up top. You're stuck in a lane, so you can't sneak up and gank people. And, you know, you don't have any surprise. Like, they know where you're putting the boxes because they see you put them there. You know, like... He's also all about, like... Surprise is his big thing, you know? He can split push, too, pretty well. So if he takes towers, he can take dragons really well with his clone. He can pressure towers with his clone. Like, his whole kit is based around sneaking up, getting very successful sneaky ganks, and then pushing objectives really hard. So he's not a top tier jungler, but he's like acceptable, you know, he's okay if you're really good with him. He's not good at just straight up fighting, which is why a lot of people fail with him. Because you have to be smart enough to do all these little sneaky things with him. He has a lot of tricks up his sleeve. Like, you can become untargetable and invulnerable for like that little quarter of a second when he spawns his clone. You can't do any of that top lane though. You're forced to sit there and fight, which is what he's horrible at.
Your turret has been destroyed. Ally has been slain.
It's not even worth, like...
Enemy has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed.
Yeah, it's bad Underwatch, and it's a lot of people, like I said, that are Diamond 5s that just don't care anymore. I mean, it gets that way at any, like, magical threshold, right? So when you're, like, Gold 1 and Gold 2, it's the same way, probably. When you're Silver 1 and Silver 2, it's the same way. You get people that are at 0 LP from a previous division that just don't give a flip anymore, and they don't think they're going to get demoted, and they just start playing goofy stuff. Like, that's the worst place to be, is right on the edges. It's like right at the bottom of a league or right at the top of a league. Because that's around the 0 LP. So that's why I really don't like that LP system. They're not going to change it. That's why I like the flat number, because every game counts. You always lose MMR, and there's no mystery to it. You know how much you're losing. You know what it's worth.
An enemy has been slain.
I mean, the series system is exciting and everything, but it just... Sometimes it can just feel bad. Like, you don't understand why you got 18 LP instead of however much, you know? God, she does so much damage.
Killing spree. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Well, we have had a really good, like, few minutes here. Totally possible we could come back and win.
Without mercy.
Yee's getting strong. Zaya's pretty strong. Well, the thing is, they use the ELO system. They just don't show you. You have a hidden, like, rating called matchmaking rating, and they just don't show you what that is. Because they don't want that to take precedence, where people care about that more than the LP, which is what would happen. Because they want to create excitement. Like, they want this series, like, people to be playing in these series all the time, so that they're not just going up and down 4 digits for the entire semester. Or the entire season, rather. So I get what they're trying to do, but, like, shrouding information just makes people frustrated, in my mind. Because they don't understand, like, when do you get demoted? Do you get demoted after 1 game? Do you get demoted after 2 games? 3? Who knows? Like, why are you getting 18 LP instead of 20? Why did you stop at 99 LP this one time? Like, it just creates a lot of feels bad opportunities, I think. They're gonna ult him, probably. That gave everyone the Ardent Sensor buff. My slow there. Okay. Yeah, Yee's getting some kills. Forky buddy, you got smoked middle. What are you talking about? You're the first death of the game. I had to get out of here to get, like, a Nazi piece of garbage off my channel for like 5 seconds, and they 4-man gank bottom when it happens. To be fair, though, I think we would have died to that, or at least Zaya would have died. I probably could have gotten out of that, but I don't think there was any way. It's people still don't play when they want to hold on to their rewards. Because they don't know. I don't know. I mean, I see what you're saying, but I think that people that are really worried about the rewards are just not going to play anyways. They're just going to play on a Smurf. Or people who want the Diamond border and stuff, they're just going to play on a Smurf. Which is what most people do. They hit Diamond 5. People who get to Diamond 5. They hit Diamond 5, and then they just don't play on their account anymore. They'll play like once a month so they don't get decayed. Nah, I screwed that up. Should have exhausted the, someone else. If we had anything but this Shaco pick, though, we would unequivocally win this game. Like, it's the Shaco is just absolute dead weight is the problem. The big problem. What are they doing? Are they at... They're not at Baron. I don't think. Unless they're 2-manning it. Without a tank. Or the jungler. I needed to buy, but I just started running immediately. Damn it.
Without mercy.
Yeah, I don't know why we were there. We should have just backed up. I need to buy, too. What do I want? Just redemption, probably.
They will suffer.
Wow, they screwed that up royally. So, I mean, maybe there is a chance. Like, why they could have gotten open inhibitor, they could have gotten Baron. They did neither. They just backed. So we got off really lucky there. Shaco is splitting.
Share my torment. I'll have my revenge. I must know their every move.
Can you ward? I have 4 wards on the map. Are you kidding me right now? Holy crap. Yeah, they're going over there. We're all out of position anyways. We have 3 blue trinkets and no one has one on Baron.
I'll have my revenge.
Shaco's just gonna AFK split. I mean, to be fair, he can't do anything else, so you might as well, I suppose. Like, what is that build? Who knows? Not me. You know he wants to flash ult or like Sivir ult or something. The Shaco pick is just... God, I can't say it enough. Hey, he did something. He's on the board, baby. He got that last 2% HP. He is on the board. He has more games on somebody other than Shaco. Like, he's not just a Shaco player. He has a lot of Shaco games. I don't remember what his other champion was, but he plays something else other than Shaco for most of his games. At least he has more games on them this season than he does Shaco. Yeah, but those aren't top lane, Asketh. I will guarantee you those aren't. That's not 57% top lane Shaco. That's jungle Shaco, and there's a huge difference. Like, I'm 57% on Janna. It doesn't mean I can go, like, mid-Janna. I I mean, everyone on their teams is better than everyone on our team. That's just all there is to it. Like, we've had chances because they've messed up their macro so badly this game. I mean, yeah, I've got 600 games on Janna, and I would still say if I wanted to play Janna middle, it would be bad. Even though I'm 57% after 600 games on Janna. It's just, some champions are just not good in certain roles. There are roles for a reason. I mean, I'm not going to report him, because he's just playing a bad champion, but... you know, he shouldn't be doing that. Well, I'm not going to report him. His priorities just aren't right, and that's not reportable. He was trying, but it's unfortunate. He has 171 Tryndamere games. Tryndamere is a much, much better champion for what he was trying to do, which is just AFK split push. Tryndamere is actually pretty good in Vlad. So why doesn't he just play Tryndamere? I don't get it. Veigar's pretty awful top lane, but he could play Tryndamere. Well, hopefully I don't get demoted here. I don't want it that fast. I feel like someone just dodged or something. Potentially a Shaco top lane. And I want to wait a second. I want to get a fresh game. He somehow won that game because his team carried him really hard. I mean, we had chances there because they were screwing up their macro so much. Like, they weren't getting objectives. They were slowing down. They were getting picked. They were screwing up all kinds of ways. And we almost were able to get back in the game. But ultimately, the composition was just too bad. Yeah, I'm going to do a mid-tier list eventually. I've got school starting up tomorrow, so it's probably going to be busy for a couple of days here. But yeah, I'll try to get one of those out here pretty soon. Yeah, I can do that briefly if you want, Rune. Huh. Well, thanks, Alex. I appreciate it. I've tried Soraka. It's not like I don't know what Soraka does. She gets countered really, really hard in high platinum. Most of the time. She can win, but all they have to do is buy executioners. It's like every time I play Soraka, the ADC rushes executioners, like second item, sometimes first item, and I get no peel from the team, and they just like beeline and kill me. I mean, I like Soraka. I want Soraka to be a thing, but... I'm just gonna get rid of Janna.
As you wish.
They banned Shaco. Gonna Sona, I think.
Only you can hear me, summoner. What masterpiece shall we come to do? They may have banned out that guy. That's not the point, Counterfeit. Good luck, Professor.
Hey, thank you so much for the donation. The point, I mean, I make this point all the time. And I know it's not a popular point. If I have to sign in... Okay, let me black screen it for a second. Actually, let me do my research on these people really quick, and then I'll talk about the point that Counterfeit's alluding to here. I've made this point several times. People talked about it when Singe Support got temporarily banned. That guy who played Singe Support. No, damn it, I need the multi. Those of you who have been here for a long time probably are going to know the speech I'm about to give. It involves a movie theater. Well, I don't have time to get to it and decide. That's fine. Whatever. Let me black screen it really quickly, just so I can give you a shout out. I need to be on Streamlabs too. Hey, thank you so much, Dark. That really does make my day. That makes my night a lot better. Even if I get demoted, dang it. At least we got a really friendly, helpful donation. Okay, so here's my thing. Okay? It can be Shaco top, it can be Singe support. So thank you so much to Dark Zoo. I need to put the screen back on here. There we go. Thank you so much to Dark Zoo. I really appreciate it, buddy. Especially for being so generous on a night when I'm having a bad night and I got a little frustrated in game one. I think I handled the last game pretty much like a champ considering what was going on, but I should have dodged it. So here's the thing about Shaco top or Singe support or AD Lux in the jungle or whatever in a ranked game. Okay, you are sharing a space in ranked game. This is not a private space. It is a shared space. It's a shared space with 4 other players. Their intention is to win. That's why they're there. They want to win because it's ranked. It's not normals. Normals are different. I think normals can be a place for experimentation and fun. You know, however you want to define that. I think it's fun to win. I don't think those are mutually exclusive. But it is a shared space with 4 other people. This is not StarCraft. You know, if you're playing StarCraft and you're playing in your platinum ranked game in StarCraft and you just feel like rushing some obscure unit that has a 5% chance to win. I don't even know current StarCraft units. But back in the day, if you want to rush like, I don't know, all Defilers or something like that and go over and just try to plague their base and like let it burn down or something like that. That's your business. It's just you and one other person. And if you want to throw the game by doing something that has a very low probability of winning, it's fine. It's not a problem. But when you get into sharing a space with other people, then you have to respect other people's intention to win. That's how I interpret it. So that doesn't mean that you always have to play the like best possible champion, right? Like you do have some leeway to play things that are a little unorthodox, but that you're really successful on. But there is a limit to that too. You can't just, I personally don't think you're at liberty to just do whatever you want in solo queue ethically because it's a shared space, right? It's just like going to a movie theater. Like there's probably no written rule that says you can't tell spoilers to movies, right? Or it's not clearly defined. It's going to be defined as something very vague, like you can't harass other viewers or you have to uphold like a certain set of standards or whatever at the theater. But even if you're doing it with good intent, right? Let's say you come up and you're really excited about the newest Star Wars movie or something, and you're telling people, dude, I can't believe this happened, like near the end of the movie. Can you believe that X major character died or whatever? You know, and people are gonna be like, dude, that's not cool, right? And he's gonna say, but what? I just really enjoy talking about the movie. This is my favorite thing. I love Star Wars. I really want to talk about this movie. And he's not intending any harm, even if he's not intending harm. The people are paying to experience the movie on their own. That's the purpose. That's why they went to the theater, is to experience the movie. They didn't go there to hear this guy talk about the movie, right? There are places where people can do that. There are forums, there are Reddit posts, there are all kinds of places where people can, YouTube channels, or people can discuss whatever they want. But that's not the place. That's the same thing with me in ranked, is a lot of people do pay. They buy skins, they buy champions, they at least pay with their time. Right? They could be doing other things, but they chose to play League of Legends because they want an enjoyable experience, right? They want to have a good quality ranked game so they can try to rank up. Just like movie patrons are paying for movie tickets. So that guy is going to be asked to leave by the manager at the movie theater if he keeps doing that, because he's ruining the experience for other people. So just on a fundamental level, for me, that means it's not anything goes in League, in ranked. Now, the extent to which people should conform to what their team wants for a good experience is up in the air. You know, the same is also not true where if your team says, hey, I think that Janna is really powerful, play Janna. You know, if 4 people on your team are telling you to play Janna, and instead you want to play Braum at the same time, I don't think you should get 4 reports for that, right? Just because they all want you to do something doesn't mean that you have to do it. Right? So you have some kind of freedom. Just like in a movie theater, if someone was like, hey, I don't know, I want you to sit here in the theater. I want you to sit in the back, away from everybody. You smell bad or something like that, right? You don't have to do that. But, you know, so there are limits to it. But I do think that at some level that means that there is a conversation about what's appropriate and what's not appropriate for picking in solo queue when you're considering and being respectful and being ethical towards your teammates. So it's not just anything goes, but at the same time, it's not you have to do everything your team wants. Yeah, they're probably on Dragon. So it's like, where do you draw the line? There's not a definite area, obviously, where you draw the line. No! Did they seriously all just get away? Holy crap. Please kill her. Oh my god. Okay, we got 2 kills for an Infernal. I do it with my mouse button. You have to bind it. So that's what I'm saying. I think that Shaco top is over the line. I think at a platinum ranked level. I didn't report him, but I think it's unethical to play that. Because he knows that is awful. That is not what that champion is designed to do. You can't play that. If it's a normal game, it's fine. But he doesn't have a lot of experience on it in top lane. He has a lot of experience in the jungle, but he knows it's a bad pick. There's no way he doesn't know. He doesn't have the will or intention to win. And that's what I think it is he's just playing something that he wants to play because he has Diamond 5 and 0 LP, and he just doesn't think he's going to get demoted, and he just doesn't care. Like, that's what that is. Alright, we're all dead. The Singe support is that's a tougher matter because that guy does actually want to win. He does have the will to win, and he does have higher than a 50% win rate on it. So the Singe support case is a little more questionable, but from what I understand, he wasn't like warding, he was roaming, leaving his AD carry alone. He was ruining the experience for a lot of people. So anyways, that's a little bit different. But anyways, that's why. And I know people bring that up sometimes anytime I critique odd picks. But I didn't report him for it, once again, because I don't think it's reportable for me. Because he was trying to win, I just think it's unethical to play it. But I should have dodged it at the same time. I shouldn't have to dodge it, but I should have dodged it. So, I don't know. I just think you should have respect. Like yesterday, where the jungle Rammus didn't take smite, he goofed up and took teleport. He should have just not showed up for the game, gotten lever bustered, gotten a warning, and saved his teammates from losing the game. Because he's going to get a loss anyways. And it's his fault for not paying attention and not changing his summoners. And you just can't do that at Platinum. You can't not have smite as a jungler. This Triss feels strong. Okay, actually, yeah. What's her name got it? Lulu got it. So anyways, that's my thoughts on it. But I try to have a higher moral standard than most people even think about in League, I think. But I'm trained to think critically about that and to think critically about morality and all this stuff. I'm a grad student in English, okay? I think deeply about these issues all the time. But still, I don't know. So that's why I had a problem with Shaco top. It's not that he wasn't trying, it's that he shouldn't have done it. Because he's not doing it with the best intentions to win the game. He's doing it because it's what he wants to do, and he's not thinking about his teammates. He's being very selfish. It has to be bait. There's no way that Lulu... Okay, well, I guess she's just clowning because Warwick's middle. I mean, people will disagree like that, but that's, I mean, there's a limit. Free speech is not free, also. I mean, if you want to take, like, a free speech thing. Because people come up with that in here, too. Well, why do I, you know, not let people talk however they want on my channel? Even in a public space, though. Like, in a private space, it's definitely not free. Like, you can't just run in and cuss out a store owner and expect not to get kicked out of the store. But even in, like, the public sphere, which, I don't know. I mean, Riot is not the public sphere. It's a private location, just like being in a store. But even there, like, you can't yell fire in a movie theater. Or, like, in a park. Like, in a public park that's not owned by anybody, you can't scream bomb or fire as well. Like, there are limits to freedom. Because that's what it means to be in society. Like, if you want to live and be totally free and do whatever you want, you have to go out and, like, live in the woods, you know, and just not be around people. Then you can do whatever you want. Within limits. I guess in parks and stuff, you can't set things on fire, but whatever. You guys get what I'm saying. If you could just completely somehow find an uninhabited island, just move into the middle of the Amazon or something, then that's where your true freedom is. But as long as you're around other people, you have to sacrifice some of your freedom to participate in that society. In exchange, you get benefits. You get things like police, you get firefighters, you get schools, like you get stuff. It's not like you're just giving up, but you're trading a piece of your freedom to participate in a collective. And you just have to be okay with that. And it's the same thing with League of Legends. No, don't die. Just run. Okay, good. Okay, good. We should get this dragon, I think. So if you expect the basic freedom of someone not being allowed to run it down middle in a ranked game without getting a report every game, or someone not to sit there and slander you the entire game without repercussions, then you also have to give up some of your freedom to do whatever you want to do in a game. Like I said, it's a gray area. Because, you know, like I said, you shouldn't be beholden to exactly what your team wants to do either. If they... 4 people... Oh, God. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. If, you know, like I said, if they all want you to play Janna and you don't want to play Janna and you're playing something else reasonable to win, that's fine. But, I mean, I don't know. I've made my point. People can either agree or disagree, but that's how I would articulate it, is that there are limits. It's debatable what the limits are, but there are limits.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I think picking is a line too. But it's up to, you know, it's up to you guys. Whatever you think. In a ranked game of League of Legends, I think picking... And once again, it's a level of knowledge too, right? Like, it's a level of expectation. Oh my God! This is, you know... It's not normals. This is not Wood 5. He knows better. You know, if it's someone who just started the game, right? Like, if it's someone who just picked up the game and they're like, oh, I really love Shaco, it's fun, and they don't understand, like, top lane or how it works or whatever, then okay, they get a pass, right? You get to learn the game. You get to experience the game and learn stuff, right? So, you know, I don't think that someone who's like a level 10 summoner or someone who's playing their first ranked game or whatever should be held to the same standard as someone who's a Diamond 5 player. Has probably played this game for 5 or 6 seasons. It's in the top 1% of players. You have to hold them to a higher standard, right? That's what I think. But, you know, once again, I've made my case several ways. I think he knows better, and he's deliberately making a choice that is intentionally not in the best interest of his team, and he knows that. And I think it's selfish. Like I said, I didn't report him for it. But I think that it's immoral to do that. So I'm not saying that all, like, off picks are bad. I mean, it is a delicate dance, but I think that there are limits, and I think that was one of them. At this level of play. Once again, not at Wood 5, but at high platinum, and when he's a diamond player, he knows. He knows better. It's kind of like, I don't know. You know, I just think it's litigious. Like, okay, I can't date a student, even if assuming that I wasn't married or whatever. Like, not even just date. Like, it says explicitly in your handbook that you're not supposed to date students. But, like, even, I don't play games with students. Like, I don't play video games with students that are in my class, because it could look like a conflict of interest. Now, there's nothing that says I can't play video games with cool kids in my class that play League of Legends, but it would show, potentially, a level of favoritism towards those students that would not be fair to other students. Even if I don't actually show the favoritism, it looks bad. And although there's not a specific rule against it, it's just, like, common ethical, like, courtesy and considerations. I don't have mana left. Okay, we got him, though. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to legislate, like, just how to be, like, what I would say a commonly decent person. But, because it's not common, you know, common sense is not common, as they say, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know how many other ways I can say it. I just think it's rude to play Shaco top in that game, but... And I know that differs from country to country, because I know one of my friends actually spent some time in a foreign country. I won't name which one. It's a... I don't know if you would consider it first world all the way, but it's like first and a half. I don't know. It was a pretty affluent country. It wasn't like Western Europe. But he spent some time in these countries. And he said it was actually encouraged for students to sleep with their instructors or to, like, date them and stuff like that. I don't remember exactly why, but it certainly was not, like, discouraged as much as it is in America and I think in a lot of westernized countries. So the morality is different in different places around the world, but I don't know. I'm trying to find all kinds of analogies for just, like, still obeying, like, good ethical parameters, even if they aren't explicitly spelled out or defined, because you just can't define good behavior all the way, right? Like, there's always going to be gray areas, so there has to be a level of discretion there. Shaco and I, or not Shaco and I, Galio and I doing a little two-man game here. That dude really wanted to kill me. So that's enough with ethical story time, I guess. I don't know. I enjoy talking about these topics, but, you know, it's at some point, it's just either you buy into it or not. Philosophy was one of my undergrad majors too, so I had to talk about these kinds of things all the time in my philosophy classes. I mean, it just depends on knowledge and intent. I think that's the two of the major parameters. I mean, I played Malzahar support before it was very, very popular, so it's not like I don't play things that are weird. I've played Skarner support before. But I did have a specific purpose. I had a very specific matchup when I would pick those champions. I had specific reasoning why they were good. People just didn't recognize it yet. Skarner never really caught on that much. Malzahar replaced Skarner as sort of the really good pick support. The highly mobile, really strong pick support. But I had a specific purpose and reasoning. And I'll guarantee you that Shaco did not. I mean, people could argue that he did, but what is it? Like, there's no way that Shaco into Vlad looks like a good thing. He's playing it, and it's very conspicuous that he's Diamond 5, and that he plays a lot of Shaco in the jungle, and he's 0 LP, and he's lost a few games, and he just doesn't care anymore. Like, that's obviously the narrative. That's what I think, but I mean, it's open to interpretation. Maybe you could say, oh, he has this really cool counter pick to Vlad. I'm not gonna buy it. Just like if it was a crime scene or something and someone's like, oh, I just happened to be walking around near the crime with a gun and I hated this person, but I didn't do it. You shouldn't investigate me. You know, that type of thing. Just walking around minding my own business with this assault rifle or whatever. I mean, we do it pretty quick. But no, let's just get out of here. We're gonna throw. Pretty bad call, without sweeping it especially. Yeah, we probably do need to close this out pretty soon. Mana is starting to become an issue. I'm trying to get to... We're going to be rushing Athenes here. Bigger heals, more efficient heals. Who's dead? Nivea's dead. I mean... So I understand your point, Counterfeit. I know that it is, just to put a bow on the conversation, I know it's complicated, but that's just sort of my thoughts on the subject. And I know it's not a popular view. I know that the most popular thing that people can say is everybody should play what they want. Everyone's a special snowflake. It's their game, you know, that type of thing. And I think that's only half true. Oh, they just straight up surrendered, okay. But that's all I have to say about it. Wait, wasn't Cookie in one of my other games? I think I remember that name. Yeah. No, he was in the Joker game. Who was he? Who did he play? Damn it, this game just lags so much. Or this thing lags so much. Oh, God. We got 155. Wow, that's a lot more people than I expected to have on a night like tonight. It's good. Glad everyone's here. Welcome. We need some more water here in a second. Actually, I might go get some more water right now. Oh, Cookie was the Zaya. He did okay that game, I think. I don't know. We got a lot of red lately. We had a decent amount of blue before, but the last couple of days have been a little sketchy. Okay, I'm gonna grab some water and just like a bar or something really quick. I know it's not about the wins, but at some point it kind of is. You know, I need to get back to Diamond. I know it's about improving as a player and all that stuff, but at some point it does feel good to win as well. Okay, let me grab a drink really quick. Oh, sorry if the microphone sounded weird. My headset mic was also going on with my other mic. Hey everybody, just finishing up this bar here really quick. Go ahead and get in here. Potato. Wait, what did Love Scream want to play? So he was trolling. They banned his champion. Shaco. Was he the guy that wanted a Shaco top before? Yeah, he does play Shaco top. A lot. He wasn't in my game. It's a separate person who plays Shaco top all the time. He's Platinum 2 instead of Diamond 5. Who's telling kids to do this? Who do I blame for this? Is it this guy? It's got to be this guy, man. Alright. Okay, we'll go into another game here. Wow, that sounds pretty bad. Checking Twitch. Oh, jeez, I need to take another shower. Ugh, it's been a long day. It's going to continue to be long. I'm probably just not going to go to sleep tonight. I might go to sleep for a couple hours, but... Nice, congrats, Dylan. Yeah, you just got to stick in there. I mean, sometimes it's tough. Who do I... Draven, I guess.
Draven out.
Hey, thanks, Silver. I appreciate it. It does. I love doing it, but yeah, it does take... Like, I don't mind doing it. I love the game. Just sometimes it does take a lot of emotional energy to try to be positive if bad things are happening, and I know that sometimes I fail at that. But I try my best to be as helpful as I can be. Oh no. Well, this might be my dodge. Unless this guy is like 60% plus Ezreal with like 300 games, I'm probably going to dodge this one. I haven't used my dodge yet, and that's a good place to do it. Because we have Ezreal and Fiddlesticks. That's really not good. This guy does play a lot of Fiddle. What? Only has 18 ranked games, but I don't know how that works. Who is this dude? Supa. This guy wants Zed. He's picking Zed into Echo. That sounds awful. No, the guy has no Ezreal games. I'm not even going to waste time. No. He's picking Zed into Echo. He doesn't have any Zed games. None of these people have any Zed games that I can see. The Fiddlesticks has experience on his champion, but it's just really bad in this meta. They had a pretty good team. We have someone who's never played Ezreal who's playing Ezreal. Someone who doesn't have experience on Zed. I swear to God, it's these people. It was Supa Strider, wasn't it? It's these 0 LP Diamonders. They're the worst. They just don't give a flip anymore. They don't care if they lose. This was either the Ezreal or the Zed, but they're 0 LP, so they just don't care because they don't think they're going to get demoted. They don't care if other people lose. So they just play whatever. And this guy just got demoted. Mugen. Who was this guy wanting to play? Well, it wasn't Yasuo, Diana, or Jace. And he just got demoted down to Platinum 1. And he's on a 4-game loss streak, so he's in whatever mode. I mean, I guess he could have just lost all games in his promo. I don't know how he's still at 75 LP, though. I think it just hasn't caught up to this game yet. But these 4 were probably the 4 that broke the camel's back. Yeah, because he'd lost 8 of his last 10 at 0 LP, probably. Got demoted. It takes way, way too much effort to do that, Silver. It's very, very political. I'm just not willing to do what it takes to do that. Just to give you an idea, I can talk about grad school here for a second. That people who want, like, who are thinking about going to grad school or know somebody from grad school, or you just want to know, like, what it's like for me and for a lot of other people who teach at universities. We've got 5 minutes to kill here, so I might as well. So, Dean, I'm not sure of the criteria, but you have to at least be tenured professor, probably at least associate professor or higher. Not even dean of a university. I'm thinking like department head and get voted in. Dean of university is its own degree, I'm pretty sure. It's like, I don't remember what they call it, but it's like higher education management or something. You probably have to have either a master's or a PhD in that and then work your way up the chain to get to it. Dean of certain colleges and stuff like that. Like, here's just what it takes to be like a tenured professor. Tenure is basically like the equivalent of kind of like union for professors. That's where you actually make some money, and you have assurances. You get insurance, you get benefits, you make some money, and you have some assurances that you're gonna have employment the next year. Okay, just like basic stuff you would expect from a professional job. You don't get that unless you're tenured, and only 20% of current people who teach at universities are tenured. That means only 1 out of 5 people that you see walking around teaching classes at a university have that. Everyone else is a contract worker. That means that you have no assurances you're going to be hired next year. They could just say, sorry, we don't have a spot for you. You're done, you know? And most of them will get paid similar to like a McDonald's worker. Or like literally if I worked at Arby's or McDonald's or Burger King or whatever right now, I would make more money than I do teaching at my university. And it's just unbelievable. Like you tell that to people and they just like, how is that possible? Because what it takes to teach in English at least, and a lot of other universities are like this, English is one of the better departments actually because there's always freshman composition, right? There's always, everyone has to take that at most universities. So you always have those classes. They will need to fill those classes. And English departments are usually some of the wealthiest departments because, at least in the humanities, not in the sciences, obviously science is way wealthier because they have research that matters that they could, generate money for. I mean, humanities research does matter, but there's just a lot more money in the sciences. But English can at least pay their TAs, so they can pay their grad students to teach classes a little bit. Actually, they pay their grad students more than they pay their adjuncts most of the time. Like I had to take, after my 4th year of grad school, I had to take a pay cut when I went to part-time adjunct teaching the same amount of classes because I wasn't, like they just don't offer it past your 4th year at my university. And so what it takes to get there, to enter into my master's program, they took 16 students out of 200 applicants. So you have an 8% chance of getting in. In my PhD program, they took 4 students for literature out of about 200 applicants. So you had about a 2% chance to get in. And then once you finish, and it's really hard work the entire time. You have to teach a bunch of classes. You have to do a bunch of research. You have to attend classes. You have to, if you're really trying to wheel and deal, you have to try to publish. You have to go to conferences and travel a lot. Like, there's just a lot of moving parts to try to do it. Once you make it through your PhD, you have to take all these classes. You have to pass all these crazy exams. You have to write a book at the end. It's like 200 pages. It has to get signed off on. Then you have to try to get, and I'll press find here in just a second. Then you have to try to apply for a job at a tenure track place. Now, these jobs are very rare. As I said, there's only 20% of people that teach have these. So whenever one of these opens up, it's just swarmed by applicants. Just people that have been trying to get these kind of jobs for like decades are applying and trying to get these jobs, right? So anytime there's a job that opens up that's tenure track, you're going to have like 500 applicants. They take one person. And they can ask whatever they want at this time. They say, okay, we want someone who can teach 20th century British literature, early American 18th century literature, and also has some background in post-colonial literature of India around the 1930s, and who also can speak German and Italian, or just whatever. They can just ask whatever they want, and they'll find somebody that can do that. So it's extremely competitive, extremely obscure. And because of that, you have to be able to go anywhere and do anything. Like, I would have to be willing to go to, like, I don't know, like Nebraska something community college to get that kind of job. Like, you can't really pick where you're going to go. And that's really the sticker for me, because I want to go back to East Tennessee. I want to be in Knoxville and teach at the University of Tennessee. That's where I did my master's. That's where I'm from. That's where my wife's family is around there. My family and friends are around there. So I don't care about the rat race anymore. I'm not applying for that, the lottery to try to get a job where I can teach somewhere obscure. And once you get that, once you get the chance, once you're that 1 out of 500, you're on the clock. You have 3 years. It has been just to publish a book, or you're fired. You're not assured anything. It's like a trial period. You have 3 years to do all this research and teach all these classes and serve on all these committees. And if you don't publish a book, you're fired. And now it's probably even more than that. It's getting to the point where you almost have to have a book before they'll even listen to you, or at least have published like 3 or 4 articles in really, really competitive literary journals that no one like in the real world reads, but everyone in academia reads these things. So it has to be something that's really reputable. And so it's just extremely competitive. And then everyone else gets paid trash. Like, I added it up one time, and my cut of the students who were in my class, like prorated, assuming they were taking 5 other classes and all this other stuff, my cut was, I think it was 4%. So of the tuition they were paying for my class, just my class, collectively, I was only getting paid 4%. The university was taking 96% of the revenue I was generating by teaching that class. Now, if that's not exploitation, I don't know what is. So 4%. I mean, that's like saying, I'm trying to think. It's hard to find an analogy. I would have to really think about it. I mean, it's hard to think of labor costs because I worked in a restaurant for a while, and labor cost was always higher than 4% in a restaurant. Even at McDonald's, it was probably higher than 4% labor cost. Which means, like, how much of your profits go towards paying for labor based on the amount of goods and services that you sell. Oh, we got a no banner here. So anyways, I don't know how I got off on that, but someone said, yeah, just be the dean or whatever. It's not that simple. It's extremely complicated. And so I've just opted for, you know, just making garbage and doing what I enjoy doing, which is, I love teaching. Also, I really love this channel now, too. So just maybe if I can stitch together, like, you know, teaching and a little bit of supplemental income from the channel, and then just living a very frugal lifestyle, maybe I could start, like, grading some essays or something on the side. I mean, I could grade GREs or SATs or ACTs or whatever. I think they'll pay readers for that, like, $15 an hour. But you have to be able to grade. The thing, how that works, too, if you don't know about standardized tests, you have, like, 2 minutes as a grader. It's, like, 2 or 3 minutes. I think it's 3 minutes tops, and if you can do it in 2 minutes or less, you get a bonus. With some places that I've read. So if I was a GRE grader, or, like, an SAT or ACT grader, or anyone that's doing that, they're only going to look at your essay for about 2 minutes. So they're not going to have time to really read and think about and appreciate what you're trying to say in there. They just have a very set criteria of stuff. They're like, okay, how many 5-syllable words do they use? What kind of vocabulary do they use? Do they use these key phrases? That's all they're looking for. They're not really looking at content. They're looking at structure. Leona, huh? Okay, sure, I'll do Lulu.
Pleased to meet you.
Oh god, they got Twitch? So I could do that, you know. I mean, it's a job. Somebody has to do it. I would feel, I don't know. Personally, I would feel kind of sleazy doing it, but someone has to do it, and it would be decent money. I just feel like it would be kind of soul-rending after a while. Yeah, that's not how it works here. There's such a large volume of essays. I mean, they have to do that because they don't want to keep students waiting, you know, because they have to finish it. Like, some students take all their SATs and stuff in the spring, or in the fall, rather. They'll take it in, like, you know, September, October, November, and the standardized people have to have those essays graded in, like, a month. Like, tens of thousands of these essays. Because there's just, the population of the U.S. is so high, and everyone has to take those essays who intends to go to college. Okay, should I really trust this guy? I don't care. If I lose, whatever. I'm having fun just sharing stories, even though they're not, like, happy stories, per se. I just like talking about stuff. I don't know. I'm a talker. In case you didn't figure that out. So I understand, but I don't know. Our whole system's just screwed up. Trust me. I've got 3 games on... Trust me, I got 3 games on Kog'Maw, baby. We got this. Just pick Lulu. We got it on lockdown. Alright, whatever. But yeah, so I mean, it's the test people have to do that. They make a lot of money doing that. And I've talked about this before too. I don't think everyone needs to go to standard college, and I say that as a college educator, probably jeopardizing my job. Like, people won't fire me for saying that, but obviously if there's less people going, then there'd be less job opportunities for me doing that. Although I think I could still make a pretty good, living, like not only just editing, but helping people become better writers and better communicators. But anyways, it's too much of this is about standardized testing. Like, you have to have standardized testing to just kind of weed through everybody. But I think the answer to that is just don't make everyone go to, like, the same curriculum. Like, I think we need more trade schools and things. Like, not just, like, mechanics and plumbers and stuff like that. We need a lot of that, too. But just, like, more, like, tech schools, more, like, business schools, like junior law schools, junior med schools, and things like that. Like, I feel like there just needs to be, like, smaller scale, like, emphasis on that in universities, and just, like, I don't know. It's tough because people, they do want people to be well-rounded citizens. They do want people to be well-rounded citizens, and that is important. I don't know. It's very difficult to... It's a very difficult puzzle to solve, because so many students go into debt, and they don't know what they want to do, and they just leave college. I think a third of students drop out before they graduate. It's something like... It depends on the university, but I think nationally that's about it. And they, leave with $40,000, $50,000 in debt, and they're just screwed. I don't know. I think it needs to start at a high school level where we try to get students training and thinking about what they want to do and let them get actual experience, like more internships in high school, more like classes about very specific subjects, like more curriculums, like almost like a major kind of thing. Like, okay, the student wants to be a doctor. Well, let's let them go shadow a doctor for a little bit. Let's teach them some actual stuff that would be going on if they were going to become a doctor. And then that way they don't waste their time for 2 years at a university because they can't pass Chemistry 101. I don't know. It's very complicated, but I think a lot of it's going to fail because you can't keep exploiting adjuncts and you can't keep exploiting students for that long without there being some kind of repercussions. Are you kidding me? What the Are you kidding me? That has to be the dumbest thing I've seen in League of Legends in a long time. Literally just gets backed down by a Twitch at level 1 and auto-attacked to death. That literally just happened. The Twitch didn't even pop level 2 on us. It wasn't like he, he got level 2, which shouldn't happen either at the Platinum level. I mean, I don't say that very often, but that is the dumbest thing I think I've seen in a really long time. Because he was out. He opted to go back in. I was running the whole time. Just putting some, like, extra damage on Twitch. Why didn't he just heal? I don't know. Whatever. We'll move on, but that is not encouraging. I need to just keep talking about academia. Give me some other stuff that I can talk about. So I'm not talking about League. Not noticing that. I need to be talking about League, but I need to distract myself from that also, because that... Trust me. Trust me, I know Kog'Maw, baby. Twitch is going to roll up here in a second. Okay, there he is. Leona's just lost her mind. Okay. Yeah, that sounds good, Dylan. Yeah, I have a few in stock. I'm going to release them over the next couple of days. That's bad, that's bad. I shouldn't have done that. Well, every other lane's doing fine. Why did I listen to this guy? And we just have to stop. He's not really that far up in CS, but he's got 3 kills now. My exhaust was on cooldown. I should not have been up that far. But if he healed, I think we could have turned it, because he used his exhaust. Unbelievable. I don't know why I listen to this guy. Like, why would I pick Lulu with this dude? Against Leona. Lulu is an awful pick into Leona. I'm not going to have any mana left. Yeah, I should not have picked Lulu. I should have just done Morgana was what I was going to do, just to shut out the... Twitch is too big. This guy's like really, really bad. Really bad. But, I mean, we gotta keep going, right? Every other lane's winning. We just have to stop dying. We just have to stop dying. That's all. If we can just stop dying and just play around everyone else, like, everyone's winning. Really hard. Really hard. Except for Twitch. This is the problem, though. Like, Leona is great at punishing people that are bad when you're really far ahead. Dude, leave! He's gonna auto you! Why would you not just leave? I don't understand. Whatever. God bless. I really want to report him, but I can't because he's just straight bad. He's just really, really bad. I don't think he's inting. He said he wanted to AFK. Like, I want to punish him for being so bad, but I can't because he's trying, you know, he's just really bad. It's just very frustrating. And Lulu is not the person to pick if you have a bad AD carry. Like, Lulu has a really hard time because she's not safe. She doesn't have very much peel. Like, she's good if you're ahead.
An ally has been slain.
Seriously? Talia can't roam down?
Shut down.
Okay, well, I've got to try to handle this.
An enemy has been slain.
Ew, Duskblade Riven. I guess. I don't know. I guess we need something that can blow up Twitch. Is he dead again? For real. Dude, we saw them coming! Unbelievable. I don't even know what to buy. I guess I can get Ardent. Okay, well now if he says that, then he's just inting. He's talked about how he wants to AFK, how he wants to int, so I will report him for that. I've tried so hard to give this guy the benefit of the doubt that he's just having a bad game, but now it seems like he is inting. Need to plug my phone in here. Okay, Talia's here, so I can back. Couldn't quite get it in there, but it's alright. I'm just gonna wait on Mobies at this point. I'll get my phone right quick. Can't, they're gonna kill me.
An enemy has been slain.
Nah, you don't want to max Q. You always want to max poly. Outside of lane. Q is like if you need to push in lane if you're ahead, and you just really want to push your advantage early. Ever since they nerfed the wave clear on it, though, you really don't want to max Q, I don't think. Not in this situation. I need the crowd control. I need to be able to shut up Twitch for as long as I possibly can. Or Master Yi, whichever. It's Twitch right now, but... What? God bless this Kog'Maw. He could have R-sniped the Twitch. Or, you know, auto-attacked at some point in there. Oh, and he rushed Bork. I should have just let him die, though. I should not have gone that far forward. Hey, Mame. Well, I don't think those are mutually exclusive. I think you can play things that are strong. You know, I don't think it's either or. I don't think you have to play strong champs or play other things. So, I mean, my answer is play champions that are strong. And play, yeah, like 2 or 3 of them. So you don't have to play the things that are absolutely the best on every patch, but you need to play things that... Like, it doesn't matter exactly which Ardent Sensor support you play, but you need to have one of them in your repertoire right now because that's a super strong item until they nerf it more. So you don't always have to play Janna or whatever else is really hot right now. I think there's quite a lot of diversity, but I think that, you know, Ardent Sensor is one of the items that you want to be able to buy most of the time on supports, so... They're rotating us big time. I need more cooldown reduction, desperately. So yeah, I don't think you always have to play the best, but I think that you have to play, like, things that are in the ballpark, you know? Top 1 or 2 tiers of supports. You know, right now, I think that the best enchanter to probably play is Sona, who's not banned a lot. Janna is probably the best, but I think Sona is probably the best, like, that's rarely picked or played. I think Rakan's the best engage champion, if you want an engage enchanter. If you really insist on a tank, I think that Alistar is probably the best, although I don't win with him. I know that there are people who do. I have played against good Alistars. I think that Nautilus is still okay. Thresh is really good if you're good with Thresh. And if you really want to play an AP support, I would go with either Vel'Koz or Brand. I might try out going this item. Redemption's not... Like, Redemption is good, but... I feel like I just want bigger heals also. Because you do have a relatively short cooldown on your So I think you can do it with each style of champion. You just have to play like really strong ones. Like I think APs overall aren't that great. I think tanks aren't that great. But you can still win with those champions if you're playing, you know, the right ones. Let's go, let's go, let's go! That's fine, we'll take that win. Kog'Maw is starting to get some items. Who else let Master Yi's up? See ya, Counterfeit. Good conversation today. Hope you don't think I was just, like I said, trying to, you know, talk to you specifically. That's a question that gets brought up a lot in conversation, is like, you know, freedom versus, like, responsibility. I enjoyed the conversation. We need to let Cog buy. It's not the end of the world to give him a Water Drake. I think a tier 2 for a Drake is fine. We could have just gotten the Drake and not gotten the tier 2. That, in theory, getting the free thing and not giving them anything back is probably a better choice, but this Gragas is what's hard carrying us right now, I think. He's playing very well. Alright, let's get out of here, let's get out of here. This way. This way, this way, not that way, not that way, not that way. Nope. Dude, they're all gonna be there. Okay. Yeah, Bard's itemization is really rocky. He doesn't have any scaling on his abilities, hardly. Like, his Q has a small AP ratio. His scaling is all meeps. There just are not good items on him, really. Like, he was much better before they nerfed Ardent Censer and Redemption. Or, not Ardent Censer. Locket and Redemption, because then you could just get those two items, because you got them on everybody. And they're just, like, generic, really good items. Who did he get? Oh, he got Twitch. Oh, God. He alpha'd my W. Oh. Well, he still did pretty well, but that alpha on my W was absolutely brutal. This is one problem with Lulu, is, like, people can outplay your W because it's not instacast. It has a cast animation. It has like a projectile. I wish it was instant without a projectile. That would help so much. Where's he going? Why is it taking you so long? Get over here. He's like stutter stepping. Come on. Prof not impressed. I'm not, he just right-clicked people. Whatever, I mean, it's fine. He is not redeemed. But I don't care. I don't care who... I don't care. I just want to win the game. That's funny, you're like, Prof is not impressed. I mean, he was in melee combat with everybody there. I just healed him through it. With my ult and, like, my shield. If we catch out Twitch... And most of this game is Gragas and Talia, I think. Everyone else played great in this game. We were absolute garbage bot lane. I mean, I played bad too. We were not... This is not a good game for me. But... There's Twitch. I heard him say hi. Mid lane's pushing. I just can't be the one to get engaged on. If Leona goes in, that's fine. We can punish her. I guess I really is up. Let's go down here and get this. Where's that path thing? Come on. We really need to be able to kill Twitch there.
The enemy's inhibitor is respawning soon.
I do like the frozen mallet on Cog. I need to just... I keep trying to, like, polymorph someone else, like polymorph the Twitch, but I'm not going to get to Twitch. I just need to give that attack speed and the picks to, Cog. Okay, it's fine. Oh, nice. Ribbon got him. Is that it? Is that Ace? I'm gonna top Gragas off there with my passive blood stacks. Okay, we got him. Whew! That was scary. We just had to focus up. Everyone else did very well. We just had to stop dying bot lane. No, when you got 4 dead, you can just end it when the death timers are that long. They're like 40-second death timers. Carly Bay Jepson. I like that. Wait, did we play with Akamaru earlier? Keep seeing a lot of the same people. Yeah, we did. Well, we won with him, though. He was in our Sona game. Against Cookie. Well, yeah, because Cog was trolling early on. Like, you can't look at just his final score. If you watch the first 15 minutes of this game, you would understand. It's not just that he underperformed, it's that he was saying, like, things like, I'm AFK, I'm not backing up, I don't care. all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, his score did end up okay, because once I got Ardent Sensor and used ult on him, then he can kill just about anyone on their team. And I kept polymorphing the Master Yi that was going in on him. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't just for his underperformance early on. It was for just having a terrible attitude. But it's fine. I mean, he pulled it out. I won't report him. He got it together. He quit raging. He started playing smart. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be it for me. I know it's not as long as I'd like to play, but I've got to prepare for class tomorrow. Got about 3 hours in. That's pretty good, I think. I have to make some final adjustments to the syllabus. There's a couple of activities I still want to work out. Yeah, Rakan's great. That sounds like a great game, Aiden. Congrats. But yeah, I think we can end on a good note here. So overall, we didn't fall that much. Sort of, kind of, you know, we fell about 20 LP, but that's one game. We just have to go +1 tomorrow, and we'll be back. It was kind of a rough day. We did get to play a bunch of different champions, though, I think, right? We played like 3 or 4 different champions. Yeah. So we did play 2 Sona games, but we played Sona, Nami, Morgana, and Lulu. And I haven't played Lulu in a while, so I'm glad I got to get a Lulu game in there. I think she's starting to come back into the meta and be pretty good. I played her a lot earlier in the season, and I think I played her a lot when the like the Zyra meta at like 7.1 to 7.5. I think I played like 100 games there, and those were really rough. I was in like the 30% or something, and we've been climbing back up kind of since then. But I just don't pull her out that often because of Doran's shield. But she does scale pretty well into the late game with things like Kog'Maw, Twitch, Tristana. She's pretty good. If Janna's banned and they have some assassins on their team, she's a pretty good pick. I don't think you do level up for reporting. I think honor is based on you getting honored, basically. Like just playing games and just receiving honors and being in games out honors and not getting reported yourself. I think that has something to do with it, is not getting reported yourself. But I doubt they would design something that is intentionally trying to get people to report other people for like in-season rewards. That's just not a good thing. YouTube was experimenting with that with their like hero system or something. I haven't heard a lot about that lately, but like you could become like a level something YouTube hero for like reporting like bad content or something like that, and it just promotes just like a ton of false reports, and it's just overall just a really, really awful system that I think YouTube's either done away with or has just minimized a lot. You should honor people for doing good stuff, for doing good works, not honor them for, I don't know. It just seems bad. But yeah, I don't think that's how the honor system works. I don't have 5 yet. Congrats to people who got to 5. Honor capsules, I've gotten 1 so far. It's just, I don't know how you get them. It's just randomly, if you have good honor, I think you just get these capsules, and they just have like little stuff in them. I think mine had like a skin that I already owned. Not a skin, a champion that I already owned. I think it was like a lease or something. Apparently you could get other stuff. It's just like getting a box, basically. I mean, Lux is okay in theory. She's very skill shot reliant. I don't think she has quite enough utility, but she does do a lot of burst damage. You're going to be the one getting all the kills a lot of times if you're getting ahead as Lux. I mean, she can be good. Her mana costs are a little high. Coin helps with that. She can be good if you hit, you know, if you hit your binds, you hit your ults, stuff like that. I think she can be good, but... Ha. Yeah, I would like a skin award, but as far as I understand, it's basically a box. Like, there might be some different stuff in there than in normal boxes, but it's basically just like getting a box. Except it's not really clear how you get it. A box is pretty clear. Like, someone gets an S on a champion that you haven't earned an S on with that season. I think you get a box, but... Okay, well, that's going to be it. Thank you very much for coming out. I really was not expecting, to get 150, 160 people out here so late on a Sunday, because I came in late after watching Game of Thrones and all that stuff. But I do have to finalize my syllabus and just make sure my lesson plan's on lockdown and stuff like that. I've got, like 90% of it done. I just need to tinker with a couple of activities that I want to try out this semester. It's my first day of classes. So the schedule's going to stay the same. I'm still going to stream as much as I can, every night, Monday to Friday. I think the hours will still work from about 9 to 2 is what I want to shoot for every night. There might be a chance, because I have to take my daughter to daycare now around like 8 or 8:30 a.m., which totally throws off my clock because I'm used to sleeping until like, noon or something, like working the third shift, basically running the stream and then doing some after stream stuff and then going to sleep around like, 5 or 6 a.m. and then getting up at noon. Can't do it anymore. So I've got to get up early. Then I could sleep in between if I wanted to, like after I drop her off. I think the first day tomorrow, I'm just going to stay up all day just to make sure that I don't oversleep for class. I don't think it's possible. Usually when I'm going for class, I set my phone alarm and I set like an old school clock radio alarm with batteries so that if power goes out, I still would hear 2 different alarms going off. But we'll see. We'll see. So I intend to keep the schedule the same. There's a chance I might push it back and go from like 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. instead, just so that I could get, like a solid 7 hours instead of 6 if I wanted to get up and just stay up at around 8 a.m. But we'll see. There might be some days where that wouldn't work out. So I might pull it back an hour and start at 8 p.m. I don't know how people would feel about that. That's what the channel used to originally be. But I think I'm going to try to keep it as it is now and then just kind of go from there. As a student, become the teacher. Well, I think we're all in a process. If you're being honest with yourself, I think we're all in a process of being teachers and being students, right? Like, we should always be trying to learn, and we should always be trying to teach and help others become better people too. Not unsolicited, but just doing our best to be good teachers, to be good listeners, good educators for things that we believe in, that we find just interesting, compelling, and stuff like that. So I think we should always be in a process of being a student and being a teacher, ideally. Regardless of formal designations. I think that's just a good position to be in. Is just be a conduit of information and just goodness. Be the kind of conduit that you want other people to be. I've had one capsule. That's right, Rosa. We're both. Rosa's got it. Ha. I agree with that, Counterfeit. Yeah, I see kind of your picture in the background. It looks like you might be a TA also. Yeah, that's true. The efficiency does decrease a lot. I mean, I think when I actually do stuff, I'm efficient. It's just, I just have had motivation problems. But I just recently, in terms of like my research, but I just recently last week just decided to change it around a little bit with the help of my advisor. And I think I found something fresh and interesting to cover. And I might, like I said, I might start doing some videos on the channel just like once a week about the kind of research that I'm doing. You don't have to watch them, obviously, and I don't think a lot of people will watch them, but I want to do it just so that I have something to report to. I'm going to report to my advisor, but just so that I can kind of like verbalize my thoughts and sort of my process and where I am and how I'm working, like what the problems are. I think it'd just be a good exercise for me to do something like that, even if no one watches it. And then I can just publish it. If people want to watch it, they can. If not, whatever. But some people are curious about sort of my personal life and my professional life. outside of League, you know, what I do, what my research is, and all that kind of stuff. So I could just have, like, you know, once a week, just an hour sort of vlog type of thing.
4 coaching sessions here with a little bit of diversity. 2 Zyra games, a Lulu game, and a Janna game.
Awesome, Dylan. That's fantastic, buddy. Thank you so much. Yeah, I will definitely get to those. I've got 3 coaching sessions, I believe, right now in queue. But you're a patient man. You know how it goes. I should be able to get to it within a week. I should be able to get all those for you. I would really like to get the coaching sessions up in general to about 1 per day if I can get them. Maybe even more. That would be really nice. That's a goal that I would like to shoot for. But thank you so much. That's awesome. Hey, thanks, Girl Fiery. Oh, for T. Asketh. Oh, my bad. I missed that. Okay, but yeah, I'll do it. So people can watch it if they want. I know that most people just come here for League or Warhammer, but I know we also have quite a few people that are just interested. You know, they like to see cat pictures. They like to see Sadie. They like to see baby pictures. You know, they might like hearing some funny stories about me and class and school and my research and just what's going on. So I could just do, like, you know, once a week, just a vlog where I just kind of share, you know, just share some stories, just share what's going on and things like that without getting too, you know, too over the top, like sentimental and personal and stuff like that. Just keeping it interesting. And the goal would be to kind of keep it, like, just intriguing and relatively light. You know, I don't want to do, there is some heavy stuff going on in my life in terms of, like, different portions of my family, but I want to keep it relatively light and interesting and fun and stuff like that. And so I think that'll be the goal, is to go with the research, kind of talk about, you know, what I'm covering, and then just any kind of cool stuff that students are doing. Of course, I won't identify them by name, but just kind of neat stuff that's going on that I've learned and that's really been exciting to me as an educator and a researcher. But anyways, so that's going to be it. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, especially people sticking with me on rough nights. I know we've had like 3 of those in a row. I think there was only one game, the first game, where I got probably a little too salty. Probably a little too salty, if we're being honest. It just, you know, I always come back. If I'm being salty, you know, just hang in there with me, please. Just bear with me. I'm working on it. I try not to get as much. I don't think I'm too over the top, but I always come back. You know, just sometimes I do get frustrated, but I think I recover relatively quickly. Just have to be out of the game, take a breath, go get some water, talk to the wonderful people in here. Talk about education or some other topic to get my mind off of it, and then we're back. We're back in the game. We're chill. We're cool, and we're fine. You know, I don't hold grudges against a lot of these people. It's fine. Like I said, I don't think that a lot of people who underperform are necessarily like just awful people, right? I think they're fine. If I sat down and had a drink with them, I'm sure they'd be fine people. I just think what gets people a lot, especially in Platinum, and I'm sure it happens in lower levels too, is people just play stuff they don't know how to play. They underperform, and then sometimes they get frustrated when they underperform, and it gets in their head, and they perform worse, and then that forces them to, doesn't force them, but it provokes them to rage or to just make all kinds of mistakes. So anyways, that's it. Thank you very much. I'll be back tomorrow, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be after a long day of classes. Like I said, I'm probably not going to go to sleep. I'll probably just stay up the whole time just to make sure that I get to classes. I think I went to sleep at like noon today, and then I got up at like 8 p.m. So, you know, by the time I get to the stream tomorrow, we'll have probably stayed up for about 25 hours. That's not too bad. Just to kind of try to reset my schedule. But anyways, that's going to be it. Thank you very much. I'll be back tomorrow, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I hope to see you then. Have a great day.